Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and I want to tell you a little bit about Ben, my boy, and something we did yesterday that was really cool that helped him, that I think can help you. It's something that I use for myself. Ben, when he was a young guy, born, as soon as he was born, he ended up in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care. He had a funny little raspy thing going on and they couldn't figure it out, so they were going to watch him for a while. And then one doctor came in and said that if they just gave him antibiotics for a week or so, he would be okay. And to this day, I still think about that and I think, oh, we could have waited another day or two, because the next day it kind of got better, and it could, so anyway, a little regret there on my part. And so I've had to use the same technique for myself that I want to tell you about, and I think it can help you. But yesterday, Ben had a whole week of, over a week of getting poked and blood drawn and on antibiotics, and they had, shunts in his veins of his head and in his arm and in his body everywhere, and they were doing all sorts of poking, and he was in a neonatal intensive care, and so you can imagine that's a lot of trauma. And when I asked him years later, how come he didn't cry, and he said, well, I left and I went up to where I was before and I just watched everybody, and then I came back. And so I thought that was pretty cool, pretty amazing. Kind of made me sad, of course, that he had to go through all that. I thought, why does a little guy have to have that for his first year of life, first week of life or so? And but I'm very grateful that he's great. And but one thing he has is that yesterday we were out in the yard, and there's some chairs that we've duct taped because they have some places where the metal has gotten worn out and rusty, and we didn't want anybody to cut themselves. And I said that, and Ben, it just made his skin crawl. He's like, don't say that, don't say that, because he just hates to hear about somebody getting cut or seeing blood on himself or anybody else. It just really, really, really affects him. And so I said, do you want to clear that? Do you want to work on that? And he's already done this process before. It helped him when he was, I had some fear around swimming. And so we did it. We did this process. And he went deep inside and cleared layers of that. And we're going to do more of that. We kind of got interrupted because it was time to go play with his brother. But that's the thing. So there's these things that I've noticed, all these thoughts. And it's been said, if you can quit thinking bad thoughts and you can think good thoughts, you can get more of what you want, whether it's your health or your money. There's that book, Think and Grow Rich. And the problem with that, I found, is that there's so many thoughts, and some we don't even know, and they just pop in, and how do you stop them? And we start to think positive thoughts, but then the negative thought pops in again. And so what I found is there's something more upstream. There's something that's causing all those thoughts. And when Ben was going through all that tough time, it didn't feel good, so much that he had to leave his body, and then he could come back. But those feelings that he had were still in his body. I have my own feelings about stuff, and it takes a lot of energy, our own energy, to stuff that feeling down and not feel it, because who wants to feel that? The problem is that energy takes a lot of our energy, and so it's not useful, it's not available for more productive stuff. So the thing is, hundreds of thousands of thoughts can be tied to that feeling. And so instead of going after and trying to change your thoughts, you can go after and clear the feeling directly, and then those thoughts can be gone. And you notice it because life gets different, gets better. So this is one of the processes, one of the big ones I use, and it's one of the shortcuts that I have now to help people on all levels, whether somebody's dealing with physical stuff or abundance, money things, or relationship stuff. It's what I use every day, even with my family. And I want you to have an experience of it, because it's not something you just get and you go, oh yeah, I understand that. It's an experience. So if you want my guide of how to do this, then there's a book I have for you, a guide, and you can get it at ralphhavens.com/end anxiety forever. So go grab that, and And let me show you how to do this. There's even a video with it. So I will talk to you all soon. Let's get out there and live. Let's really live. Bye now.